Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And today I want to talk about the Borderlands 4 state of play that happened a couple days ago. Now, I did see this already, but I wanted to go through it and kind of take a closer look and talk about it with you guys, give you my thoughts and opinions because um, some of you guys might not know this, especially if you're coming off of a lot of my Monster Hunter content that I've been doing lately. And don't worry, there will be more Monster Hunter content because I know you guys are really enjoying that. And of course, I've been enjoying making that as well. I love Monster Hunter. It is tied with the Souls games for my favorite game series. But what you might not know is that Borderlands is actually my third favorite game series and holds a very special place in my heart. Especially Borderlands 2 is not my favorite game of all time, but one of them. It's up there for me for sure. It's in my top 10 favorite games at the very least. Probably even top 5. And I even liked Borderlands 3 a lot. I do have problems with it. I still think Borderlands 2 is the best one overall. I think Borderlands 3 made a lot of good improvements on the gameplay front and quality of life front, but there were a lot of ways and a lot of things that I think Borderlands 3 lacked. Even you know after all the DLC and everything, and Borderlands. So when they announced Borderlands 4, like I've been excited, but I'll admit, there hasn't really been anything where I've been like, wow, this is gonna be like a new era for Borderlands. It's gonna rejuvenate the series and it's gonna be like this big new um innovation on the whole series, right? And the whole gameplay loop. Even after watching this, I don't know. I have questions, but let's just get right into it. So starting off, yeah, I mean,
Since creating the
gameplay looks
legacy of the
good.
genre nearly 16 years ago, we've continued to refine the formula, delivering better loot, greater freedom, and endless mayhem. And with Borderlands 4, we push things even further.
Okay, yep.
This is hands down our best Borderlands ever. All new
I don't know about
movement,
that. That
abilities.
that remains to be seen. Just because the gameplay is the best doesn't mean that it's going to be better than Borderlands 2. I'm sorry, but
Bigger and badder enemies and a brand new planet, all in service of making you feel like a total badass.
It's the perfect entry point for new players with incredible new places and a great story. And for
a
our
great story. That really that I don't know about that one. Borderlands 3, oh boy, Borderlands Three's main story. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, guys. When I play that game, like when I've gone back to replay that game, I straight up mute the dialogue. Like I turn the dialogue audio all the way down to 0. And that's really sad because Borderlands 2, I think, had a pretty good story. It's not like but Borderlands, like, you don't go to Borderlands for the story. That's not why you're there. But Borderlands 2 still had a good enough story for what, they were trying to go for. And I mean, Handsome Jack was just such an incredible villain that I don't think they're ever going to be able to replicate or come close to. Uh, but my point is that, Borderlands has never been like, it's not like Final Fantasy or something where like the story is such a big deal and you get like so emotionally attached to these characters. I mean, you get attached, but it's not the same, right? It's not like there's not as much weight put on the story, and there shouldn't be because that's not the main point of Borderlands, right? Like Borderlands is all about, at the end of the day, the gameplay loop, and I mean it's a game, so of course that makes sense. But anyways, I'm rambling. Um, it's just Borderlands 3 did not have very good writing, especially when compared to Borderlands 2. And it's because they lost the main two writers from Borderlands 2. So I don't know what's going to be so different about the writing in this game that he thinks it's going to have a good story, but I hope it's better than Borderlands 3 story. I will say the DLCs of Borderlands 3 I thought were at least a bit better on the writing side.
time Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone while pushing
More grounded tone. See, he says that like, what do you mean more grounded tone? This was something when I watched this the first time where I was like, grounded tone. What do you mean? Because Borderlands has never been. I feel like the most grounded Borderlands has ever been was like Borderlands 1. But even then, like the Borderlands has always had a lot of jokes and comedy in it, as it should. I mean, um, I think Borderlands 2 was like the perfect version of that, and then Borderlands 3 they just took it way too far, and like not many of the jokes really hit, at least for me. But because like when you think grounded tone, like you look at like the original trailer for Borderlands, like the original Borderlands, before they went like um before they changed to the more like comic booky art style, which by the way, I feel like the more and more realistic they've gone, like that comic booky art style is still there, but again, I kind of feel like some of that identity is being lost as time goes on.
Gameplay ahead further than ever before.
Like it still has that, but
Culmination of years of hard work from my teammates across the Gearbox Studios. So enough talk. Let's get it. This is Borderlands.
all right. He's being so extra about this, but you know what? He's excited. All right. So what? Yeah, like it still has that vibe.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe.
Yeah, it's
where
just
life is cheap.
I feel like some of that comic bookiness has kind of been lost a
You play
little
as a
bit.
Vault Hunter.
But
Badass
it's still kind of
mercenary
there.
with powerful
So
abilities called action skills.
also, I
Today
just
I'm
gotta
playing
say,
as our new Siren.
let me go
Powerful
back for a
abilities
second
called-
because
You play as
these characters look way better than they did when they were first shown off. Like I just gotta say that right out the gate. Like when they first announced this game and they or not announced, like after they did the teaser and like they showed these characters briefly, I was not feeling it, dude. I'm feeling it a lot more. This character here in the on the left side, she looks way better too. Like my god, her original, like what they showed of her originally, like her hair looked super weird. So they really have gone in and fine-tuned these designs more, and they look good. I think I'm gonna pick the Siren Vex. From everything they show in here, they like for my first playthrough. She just, I mean, she looks really really cool,
As a Vault Hunter.
and what she
A
does is
badass
really
mercenary
cool.
with powerful abilities called action skills.
Today I'm playing
Like
as
look
Vex,
at
our new
that!
Siren.
Look at those wings. That is
She wields
crazy, and like
supernatural phase energy
the
to devastate
purple
effects.
tattoos. It's so cool.
She can use that energy
Very
to
edgy,
empower
but
herself,
you know what? I think it's
or
cool.
channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And because everything's better in co-op, I'm joining as Rafa. A former T
This guy seems cool too. This guy's got like the Mega Buster, dude. That's really cool.
He can digistruct an arsenal of
And then
weapons,
this thing,
like
look
a
at that.
razor-sharp arc knife.
That's awesome.
These are two of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict.
Yes. Okay.
For thousands
Not
of years,
Pandora,
the Timekeeper kept the planet
which I
hidden,
think isn't a bad
controlling its
idea.
inhabitants with bolts.
Get some shake up in the
Cybernetic
settings.
implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally
I wonder
crushed
if we're
by
gonna
his
go
army
back
of
to
synthetic
Pandora
soldiers
at all.
known as the Order.
I'm very curious about that. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back for a second. I just realized something. This is something I didn't pick up on
Cybernetic
before.
implants fused to their
So,
spines.
right
Anyone who stepped out of line
right
was brutally
here,
crushed
this
by his-
cutscene. So look at that. We actually have. I don't know if this is just like the intro cutscene, but I remember a while ago they mentioned how. I think I don't know if they said this exactly, but they said something along the lines of like they wanted to make it where the characters you're playing as actually like have more like agency in the story, and that's something that Borderlands has always had a weird thing with, where like you'll watch a cutscene, but your character just kind of stands there, like your character, or they're not even in the cutscene. It's like, what are you doing right now? Like, for example, even like for example, the what I still think is the best game in the series, Borderlands 2, the scene where spoilers if you haven't played Borderlands 2, but it's a what a 13-year-old game at this point, almost. Um, the scene where Handsome Jack kills Roland, like you're in first person for it, and it all happens very quick, so it works in that case. But you kind of just stand there, right? Like he just comes in, shoots Roland, that happens instantly, and then Lilith tries to attack him, and he throws the collar on Lilith, and then you're just that like siren control collar or whatever. You're just standing there. It's like, why aren't you why aren't we as the player character doing anything? Like, why aren't we involved? So I like this. And I mean, this could just be the intro cutscene. There's plenty more examples like that throughout the series where it's like, what are our characters doing right now? They're just standing there, like they're not reacting to any of this.
Army
So
of
hopefully
synthetic
that's what
soldiers
this
known
is.
as the Order.
I didn't notice that on
That
first
is until
viewing.
6 years ago when Alpha showed up. This rogue moon was
Yep.
teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3
Yep.
by the legendary
Another
hunter Lilith.
perfect example.
When
Another
it
example where your
reappeared across
character's
the
just standing
galaxy,
there in
it
Borderlands
crashed into the
3 when that
protective veil
happens.
around Kairos. The results were devastating.
This all, I mean, the environments look really
Planet-wide
cool.
cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect
This, like,
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up. Some even ripping out their bolts. And chunks of their brain along with it. Here it comes! That's the situation our vault
yeah,
hunters
some of the,
cracked
I like
into.
how
A planet ready to
different these
explode,
environments
and
are
you're the
looking.
spark. As you explore, you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan favorites return.
Mara from Borderlands
Like Zane and
3,
Moxxi.
Zane and Moxxi. Cool.
You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
Okay.
And
So
as
I just
always,
realized, hold
you'll
on.
also
Let me
turn-
go back to, sorry I keep
like
going
Zane
back.
and Moxxi.
Okay, Moxie's got like a little,
You'll also meet
going
new friends like Rush.
towards her more classic design a little bit,
and as
I
always,
think.
Claptrap is along for the ride.
Claptrap is always.
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere,
Alright, so, okay, we
Hacking
got a lot
border
more
tech,
time to go, and I've already been
scanning the
recording for a while.
environment, and helping guide you to objectives.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this drone that, like, paths out the objective for you. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I get it. We're
But enough
vault
of all that.
hunters.
Let's get into
We're
the
always
game.
following objectives in these games. And it makes sense because you're like a bounty hunter, but I don't know if
Thanks
I
to
like
our
that.
improved lobby system, it's
So I really like how this main menu looks. But as we'll get to in a little while, I am not a fan of some of the other UI choices that they make.
easier than
But here
ever
we
to
go.
join up with your friends on the fly.
So yeah,
And with
Cro-
full crossplay
yep,
at launch,
crossplay,
you can play with your
that's
friends on any platform.
awesome. They're bringing that back. Really good.
Today, we're venturing into Terminus Range, a frigid, mountainous region.
This is just one of the 4 zones on Kairos that you can seamlessly explore.
So that's that's another thing I want to talk about. He said this is one of the 4 zones on Kairos. So does that mean that this game only has 4 zones? Like it's still zone based, but they're just, instead of doing like a bunch of zones, they're doing 4 really large zones? Is that what this means? I'm not opposed to that, but I am admittedly a little concerned with that. Borderlands has always been like about, not about, but just like Borderlands has always had open zones that are like smaller and more constricted. And I actually think a lot of the smaller zones in Borderlands, like the smaller maps, are some of like the better designed ones. Like I really don't like some of like the really big zones that they have in some of the Borderlands games. Like Borderlands 3, my least favorite part of that game's main story is the swamp planet Eden 6, because the zones are massive and they're just, for the most part, like they're just boring. They're just empty. There's so much empty space. Really gives you that like open world fatigue vibe. Even though it's not open world, and that's not good. And that's why I always really like the smaller, more constrained, narrow focus zones. So I'm a little concerned with this, but we'll see. We'll
There's
see how
next
it
to no
goes.
loading time, just endless looting and shooting mayhem.
And that's, yeah, loading time stuff. That's good.
For our current mission, we need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains. One of the Timekeeper's generals, Vile
So this UI, like the actual heads up display, I don't know. It's not bad, but everything feels so boxy. Like, or at least like the shield and health, like it just looks so clean. And like, I mean, it's supposed to look clean. I get that, but I don't know. It feels like there's some flair missing.
has been conducting grotesque
It looks
experiments on
very.
locals. It's up to us to stop
What's the
it.
word I'm looking for?
All right, let's get moving.
Clinical? No, I don't know. Like,
Here
it's
I'm
just...
using Glide, one of our new movement abilities. Along with dash, double
The
jump,
movement
climbing,
abilities,
and point grapple,
this
these
is
make moving
really
around
cool.
more fun
I
and add
think
a
this
ton
is
of
a
utility
good
to combat.
addition, and it makes sense.
As you traverse, you'll uncover a vast and beautiful world. And to bring Kairos to life, we've introduced dynamic weather and events, so you constantly have new things to
Dynamic
discover.
weather and
There's also
events.
plenty of
That
local wildlife to contend
sounds
with,
cool,
like these
but
Kratch, flying beasts who attack and fly.
that does make me a little... Yeah, I'm a little... I don't know, especially seeing how
Here we've
dynamic
come
weather
across
and
a silo,
events
one of several
were
new
handled
activities in Borderlands 4.
You'll naturally discover
like
short
the
gameplay
way the weather
experiences like
system
this
is in
all across
Wilds,
Kairos.
Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm like,
There's no need to
I don't
pick up a
know.
mission first.
I don't know if I want to
These are
hear about weather
auto-granted and
systems
track
right
on your
now,
HUD.
because even though I like
Silos
it in
house
Wilds to an
old,
extent, I
decommissioned
do
order
have
tech
problems
that you
with
can
it.
hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With the help of Echo 4, we'll hack into their network and release the communications balloon.
So my immediate thoughts when I'm looking at this are like,
Now that we're in charge,
he came
we
up
can
here,
fast
he
travel to the
killed
silo.
like 2
And as a
enemies,
bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a
and
vault key
like, where are
fragment.
the other
We
enemies?
can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault, a high-level dungeon.
I feel like there
with
should be more
challenging combat
enemies.
and serious loot.
Let's get after it.
So, yeah, like, this looks good. There's, like, some creatures wandering around, but I am noticing a lot of empty space. Which, like, of course, there's gonna be some
Another
empty
nice thing
space. There
about
needs to be.
silos
There
is
needs
you
to be
can zip
breathing
line up
room.
and take off.
Well, I get that, but I am just a little concerned with, like, some of the world design choices that I'm seeing in this clip in particular.
And if that's not fast enough for you, you can always pull out your personal vehicle
I
and did your run.
I like that you can do that. You can just
hop on, hit
pull
move,
out the
and
vehicles
get
whenever.
You can customize the body, paint job, and even how it handles.
Yeah, though,
Because this is
so
Borderlands, you best believe it has guns.
some of these decisions...
As you traverse, you'll encounter a host of dynamic events. From order patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot.
World
and-
bosses and dynamic events. I don't... That doesn't sound like a bad idea on paper, but I really don't want
We're
them...
coming up on an order outpost. Let's see the new movement abilities and
I'm very conflicted on this. Can you guys tell? I'm very conflicted on some of these choices. Yeah, why do, like, the numbers and, like, the number font looks kind of bland, and, like, the UI just looks so sterile. That's the word I'm looking for. Sterile. Like, it doesn't have that flair to it. Like, Borderlands 3's UI looked more interesting. More flashy, in my opinion. So I like that. I like you can do that. Grappling hook stuff is fun. Or seems fun. Cool. Like, yeah, it just...
now I know that there's a vault fragment around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out.
See,
Echo
it's just,
4.
I just don't want this to become like, because the reason why I'm like, is because the gameplay looks fine, but it's not, again, like, why I'm conflicted on these world design choices that they're making is because Borderlands 3, I thought, like, I naturally thought that, like, okay, a way to evolve the series is to make more meaningful and organic exploration. You know, that was something that I said, right? And that I still think, but now that I'm seeing this, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want this to just be like Destiny. You know, I don't want Borderlands to try to just become Destiny. I still want it to feel like Borderlands. And And some of these things I'm like, or like Diablo. I mean, I know it's always been like Diablo, but like Diablo 4 has like the world events and stuff, and like the just. I mean, I haven't really played much Diablo 4, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's like I just hope this doesn't feel too samey with like other games. Like I want it
Or to show us where to go.
to feel unique.
We're meeting up with none other than the
Okay,
Tiger
so
Tartali herself.
I'm gonna fast forward because this
Please, be my
stuff's
guest.
not
Always
really
been
that
the heart of
important.
Borderlands, and we put a ton of work into making it better than ever. Our improved lobby was just the start. You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the.
Okay, yeah.
Tim
So,
feels like the
we got the
product of
challenges.
Victor's twisted mind. Mother
Uh,
experiments. Me, obviously,
okay.
Hermes.
Now that we're in the black site, let's take a moment to talk about loot.
Yeah, so dude, I saw this and I was like,
In Borderlands 4,
dude, this ain't it. This, what is this what is this UI? This is, what happened to the Borderlands 2 UI that was then, basically they just did the same UI in Borderlands 3, but like with some slight differences. I'm really not a fan of this UI at all. This just, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Again, it looks so sterile. Like the gradients that they're using on everything look just so like harsh. It makes everything like dark and um it just doesn't have that like Borderlands colorfulness, flashiness to it that like Borderlands 2's UI has.
each piece of
I
gear comes from one of 8 manufacturers.
Yeah,
with their own
I hope they
characteristics
change
and
this. This does not.
trademarks. There's Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons. The elemental expertise of
Yeah, this,
Malon,
see, like, this looks great. The guns
who
look
saw
great,
lower
of course.
accuracy with more
The
bullets.
gameplay, the core gameplay looks great.
The toss to reload Tedior.
It's literally just like the other stuff. Like I was never concerned about the gameplay, but that's the thing is like the gameplay looks great. I'm sure it's going to be essentially a better version of Borderlands 3's gameplay, but I want the series to evolve in other ways, and some of the things I'm seeing here, I'm just not really. They haven't sold me yet. Where I'm like, yep, this is it. This is going to be the next best Borderlands. Like not quite there.
We also
And
have 3 new ones. The Order, with powerful charge and release blast.
and where's this?
To support
Yeah, this
playing with your
UI,
favorite manufacturer, we've
dude.
added enhancements. This new type of gear replaces artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers.
Okay, it's an
Take
interesting
my current
idea.
enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with deadless parts, along with more reload speed and critical.
I do like that they're making the parts, like the weapon parts, more important.
Satisfying loot chase ever. And at the top of everything are legendaries. These have always had unique effects that you won't find on any other piece
Yeah, and
of
they
gear.
they talk about.
But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often.
Yes, they did.
This not only devalued legendaries, it made everything feel less valuable.
Yes.
In our new system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events. We've
Yeah,
added the magic
I'm really glad that they're doing something about this because yes, that was definitely a problem in Borderlands 3.
back to our loot chase. And we know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
But let's get back to combat so I can show you my favorite thing, Ordnance.
Why is like the XP bar like this weird like diamond shaped thing and like why are it's
This
just
is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons.
ordnance.
Like rocket
This is an interesting idea, but ordnance. I don't
launchers.
know.
Instead of taking up a gun slot and ammo, Ordnance now has cooldown timers. No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow stuff up as often as you want.
And further customize action skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed enhancements that add new
So,
behaviors
yep,
and
we
functions
got
to your action skill.
The action skill stuff,
Different
bringing it
builds completely change how combat
bringing
plays
it back
out,
from
resulting
Borderlands
in near
3.
endless freedom to experiment.
The
You
thing
can
that
swap
looks weird to me though is like why does it look like one action skill has like 4 different trees on it.
Unlock augments or capstones on the fly, or completely respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
Like, because this is
gives us a
just
chance
the
to talk about
red
traits.
tree. So are they
Each Vault Hunter
changing
has a unique passive ability called
how
a
that
trait.
works?
For Vex, her action skills attune to the
Like, are they making it where, like, every single one of these action skills, like, where you can only have one equipped at a time, but you can spec into, like, I am a bit confused at this. Like, why does it look like there's 4 trees on this one
element
page?
of her equipped weapon. So by swapping guns, I can change Trouble's damage from kinetic to shock, fire, or any other elemental type.
And also, you can pet the cat.
Dead
That's
end.
very important. Very important feature.
Let's see where this
Got to
road
be able to
takes
pet.
us. God, are those test tubes?
I'm almost afraid to ask what's in the tube.
This does look really cool. This
Borderlands
boss.
4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever, putting all your new skills, gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
Does look cool. Neat. I'm gonna go back to. I know the video's already running
Elemental type.
a bit long, but I want to hear what he says
I have
about
cooldown
the
timers. No more
skills,
saving the big
action
guns for boss
skills.
fights.
Yeah, we saw this, but
Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities
okay,
with
yes.
devastating effects.
But can we mix and
Up
match
until
them?
now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble.
So
As
maybe,
you can see,
well,
each action skill
okay,
has its
no,
own
I think.
branching skill tree, giving you more build freedom than ever before.
So it's just okay. Everyone has their own branching skill trees, which I guess they've always had, but it looks like they really like branch out even more now. So that's interesting. As long as you can still mix and match, which yeah, okay, yeah, he has 19 points in the green tree, and he
On
has
top
some
of
here.
passive
Okay,
skills,
good,
You can
good,
metal
good,
type,
good.
but thankfully ever, putting all your
so
new
we're almost at the
skills,
end.
gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa,
This
whoa.
boss looks cool.
Spoilers. That's enough of that for now. But we look forward to showing you much more this June at our first hands-on gameplay event.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, there was a part in here too. I think I might have skipped over it where they mentioned like Endgame, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk more about Endgame, but next time at the June thing." So that's something I want to know more about too. Like, have they heard the feedback? Are they going to have like more raid bosses and just a more meaningful Endgame loop? I guess we'll find out at a later date. I just like I think it looks good overall, but I have some of those concerns with how they're handling like the world design, especially. Um, I don't want it to just turn into Destiny, but I also do want there to be more organic exploration and more things to do on the maps, outside of like regular side quests and main quest stuff. So it's kind of a tricky balance to strike, and I'm very curious to see how this game is gonna turn out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my thoughts on the Borderlands 4 State of Play. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for Borderlands 4, or are you more concerned, or are you just checked out of Borderlands at this point? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.